Listen, I'm not gonna keep you too long. I just need you to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and share this video. Give me an algorithm. I appreciate you, G. Hey y'all, I'm back. Like I said before, if I have skipped frames, I do apologize. I changed the settings. I don't know why it's still doing that. I'm guessing it's something with the internet going on. Because I kept changing my settings, and at this point I did everything that I can to not have them, and it's still happening. And anything aside from me just not recording, trying to figure this out, I mean, I'd rather just record. And if it's lagging a little bit, I apologize. I'm just not gonna stream until I get it fixed, because I don't want that to mess up y'all streaming experience. But with that being the case, I was watching this one thing, right? And it resonated with me so much because I feel like it's something that I struggle with, and also other people struggle with. Newer YouTubers. There was this overall, like over the short time span that I've been on YouTube, I've had people come on my channel and try to over sexualize me in the name of me getting followers and in the name of me getting views, right? So I'll have these random guys, they'll come in there and he's like, oh, you should do some seafood content. That's what's gonna get you some followers. And then I'll have other people saying, oh, you should do your OnlyFans, because that's going to get you followers. And then I'll have people, and then so it stopped after a while, because I just stopped responding to people. I'll take them off of my, I took them off of my channel completely, and not really like dignify any of that with any, any of my energy. Because what I'm doing is not for clicks and views. Yes, of course, I want clicks and views. I think that's what everybody wants. But the thing about that is, the moment you stop doing stuff that way, like let's just say you're tired of being over-sexualized. You're tired of the comments of people saying different things to you sexually online. The moment you stop doing it, you're going to lose the fan base, because at the end of the day, you were doing it so that you can garner views and clicks. And so that's what they come to know. That's what they come to want and love. And the moment you're not doing it no more, they're going to move on to the next creator that is doing that, right? I think that it's important for us to be true to ourselves, whatever that means for you. This not only applies to women, but it also applies to men. It's one thing to do things so that your audience can vibe with you. It's one thing to do things in a way that will garner popularity by people, right? But it's a whole other thing to do something because you want clout for it and you want people to click on it. Now, I do things so that I can get clicks and views, but at the end of the day, that's not why I'm here. Because let's be real. Let's be real. I still have videos that I only have 10, 11 views on. But you know what the caveat to that is? I produce at a very rapid rate. I don't allow videos to dictate the video views, to dictate how I operate. So if that means I have to do 30 videos in a week, and I might get, out of those 30, I might get 10 of them that get more than 100 views, and the rest of them get 50, 60, 70 views. I don't care about that, because at the end of the day, I'm not compromising myself. I'm still bringing you content that I feel that is quality content, and I don't have to compromise how I feel and how I want to be received by other people. It's okay for other people to do whatever it is they want to do. If that's what they want to do, they can do that. But I'm not compromising myself in the name of clicks and views, and I'm just not doing it. Now, I mean, it is what it is at this point. Like, I understand that people have, things that they want to see, but I'm not that creator for that. So the other day I had a woman come in under my comments, and she was just like, "Oh, maybe you should do this, wiggle your titties, do that, and you'll get a whole bunch. Like, you'll just get so many views on your stuff." But I don't want to have to do that. For what? You don't have to compromise yourself. So that means at this point, you are starting from the bottom. You're gonna have 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 subscribers, and you're gonna stay stagnant for a while. But the people that are really fucking with you are gonna fuck with you because they want to fuck with you. It's not because they have to be enticed to do so. With that being the case, I was watching this video about Doechii and her come up story. And I'm not very familiar with Doechii and her come up story. So when I seen this, it kind of it did something for me. And I'm doing this so that, because I know I have creators on here that are just starting their journey. They got 100 subscribers. They got 500 subscribers. They got 1,000 subscribers. And oftentimes when you have not very many subscribers, you're not going to get very many views. You know what I'm saying? But you have to be a special type of person to be able to go through that and not really be worried about how that will look to other people, you not having views. Because at the end of the day, those other people that quit because they not getting the views, well, they didn't want to do that bad in the first place. The creators I know on YouTube that push through that and just keep on producing, keep on uploading, not really worried about what other people have to say. They're the ones that are now, they got millions of subscribers. They were able to power through that time, and they were rewarded for it. So I'm saying to you, don't let nobody else make you feel no type of way. Let's get off into this next reaction. Here we go, y'all.
You see this hat? You see this jacket? I'm a nice presenting woman. I'm hungry. I want to be the best. If I have 2 days, if I have 24 hours, I'm going to work my hardest to make the best performance because I want to be the best. Period.
So many artists have broken through in the last few years, but there's something special about the rapper Doechii. Going from working at Chipotle to being Kendrick Lamar's favorite artist right now. While she's been exponentially blowing up and catching people's attention since 2020, she has a key trait that sets her apart from the crowd, and she's approaching a territory of artists that only a few people have been able to hold. She credits one book she read as the turning point for her that blew her up weeks after reading it. And actually the best part about it is that she documented and videotaped the entire process.
Good morning, guys.
To understand Doechii's blow up, we have to go back to before everything started. Doechii, or Jayla Hickman, born and raised in Tampa, Florida, which you'll see has heavily influenced her entire...
Shout out to Tampa, Florida. Now, I'm gonna say this. Yes, I have an ex that's from there that isn't really a good person, but I met a lot of good people in Tampa. They got a lot of good people out there. Genuine people, and shout out to them.
aesthetic and sound. She attended Howard W. Blake High School, your typical Florida school, and grew up in a family of creatives. Her earliest dreams were to be a part of a choir, but she ultimately always wanted to be a musician. With this, she also had big dreams of being a YouTuber, posting vlogs, video diaries, and covers. There wasn't a clear idea what she wanted to be through YouTube, but you saw the early makings of someone who's creative and has a million ideas, but just doesn't know where to hone it. One day she'd upload a cover, the next a vlog of her normal life, and the next a how-to on some random subject. Doechii had a million ideas and was always sharing the next thing with her community.
Don't that sound like me? I do that as fuck. As fuck, yeah. I do that as fuck.
Her audience wasn't big, but you can tell she cared about these videos, often pouring her heart out and being extremely vulnerable and honest, something that's actually pretty unusual nowadays on YouTube, documenting an incredible amount of her life pre-fame. But even with all this, she was working normal jobs like Chipotle and even made a video showing people how to get hired there. But even if you take away hindsight and with the success she has now, there was one thing that stood out in the earliest forms of Doechii. She really valued being unapologetically honest, and everything she put out, she wanted it to be real and authentic.
I'll be doing it regardless of my audience's presence anyway. Whether or not anybody was watching, regardless, I'm going to be making things.
Create something that you think is good and your fans will follow. Trait some of the best artists have.
The audience comes last. The audience only knows what's come before.
So many people focus in on views and numbers and forget to create something original and authentic. Doechii?
So this is, I kind of wanted to stop it here because I kind of wanted to speak on that. A lot of times, people that aren't really used to reaction channels that come across my videos, they like to say, I'm content stealing. Well, you don't know what the purpose of a reaction channel is. Obviously, if a person is clicking on my video and it says reaction to, it's going to automatically put you in a headspace. Oh, this is a reaction channel. People don't watch reaction channels to view the content. I mean, yes, they do, but they've probably already seen it. I think that the reason why people watch reaction channels, because I'm going to give you an example. I watch reaction channels. I'm big on watching reaction channels. But the reason why I watch reaction channel is because if I've already seen it, I want to see somebody else's perspective on it. That's the purpose of me watching a reaction. To watch other people's perspective on it. So, I know what I think, but oftentimes, I'm not around other people. So, I can't, like, I'm not watching a show with somebody, right? So, if I'm not watching a show with nobody, and I'm just thinking what I'm thinking, unless I go in the comment section and look at what other people are thinking, I don't know what other people are thinking. You feel me? So, the reason why we watch reaction channels is so that we can get another person's perspective on it to see if it aligns with ours. Now, you'll have people hate watching you. You'll have people watching you to see how you do things so that they can do it the same way. But overall, I feel like people watch reaction channels and watch reactions because they want to see the other person's perspective on it. So the worst thing you can do if you are not trying to hate is to go up under somebody's video on a reaction channel and tell them you're just stealing content. Unless they don't stop and pause it and they just reusing the content like as their own, then don't do that. That if you already not really getting views, that really discourages you. Because then you got people thinking that you got people thinking that what you're trying to do is steal their content so that you can get views. And that's not what it's for. Not for me. Not for me.
She still had this value, even if the viewership numbers weren't where she wanted them to be yet. But every person's journey has moments of struggle and doubt.
Definitely.
Doechii really seemed destined for success from the beginning. Everything seemed to be heading in the right path. She was talented, had a good mindset, and had a good work ethic. She went on to release her debut mixtape, The Coven Music Sessions Volume 1, a 9-song mixtape that she wrote and recorded on her own dime in an independent label. And just watching the promo for this album, you can tell she really cared about it. But despite having the right work ethic, the right mindset, and the right talent, the numbers just weren't there. Even if it's for the art and you're ignoring the audience, when success doesn't follow, it can get discouraging. Feeling like you're moving backwards sometimes towards your goals is human. And Doechii, despite the positivity and despite where she is now, is no different. And in 2019,
I think that, well, for me, I'm just giving you my point of view on it. When I work hard on making videos, and I think it's one of my best videos I've ever made, and I only get 2 views on it. I feel away, right? But this is the funny thing about that, about how the algorithm works. I have a video, I'll upload a video, and it'll only have, like, by the end of that day, so let's say it was uploaded at 6, and by, I don't know, 9-10 p.m. that night, I might only have 5 views on it, right? I automatically, fuck, what could I have done better? Because I did the hashtags, I named it the catchy name, I had a good thumbnail, and I still don't have no views on it. Especially like when it's something that y'all request, and then I have 0 views on it. I feel away. But then you know what happens? When I wake up the next morning, it got 200 views on it. So I said all that because I just want to let y'all know, like, if you are a creator and you are just getting into this creating thing, it's going to be a lot of times you get discouraged. You get discouraged by low viewers. You get discouraged by low subscriber counts. You get discouraged by the comments that people leave. You get discouraged just looking at other YouTubers and seeing how like what you feel like you put out is better than those people, but they're getting more support than you. That's when you have to look into yourself. You got to look into yourself and understand that it may not be you, or it may be you. But then that's when you bring the audience into the conversation and you ask them, are y'all feeling this? Are y'all fucking with this? What can I do better? What's gonna make y'all want to watch it as soon as I drop it? What's gonna make me get 1,000 views on this video as soon as I drop it? Sometimes they'll tell you. Sometimes they will, but sometimes they won't. But even if they don't, you have to know how to read your analytics to see, is this what I need to be doing, or should I do something different? Yeah.
she uploaded this YouTube video.
I feel like everybody's life is better without me in it. And I feel like my life sucks. And I participate in self-help courses and books to scapegoat the fact that my career isn't progressing. I fear that I'm at a standstill because I don't feel like my projects are moving fast enough for my audience.
After years of working at it, she's feeling something that everyone has felt at some point, self-doubt. She's clearly unhappy with how the audience has received her music. She does clarify that she was only in a dark moment and she doesn't feel this way all the time, but it shows that you could be doing everything right, but still things might not go your way. And for Doechii, it seemed like a breakthrough was around the corner. However, it's just about to get worse.
So I got fired today. I'm just gonna go in. Studios, record label companies, like, I'm just gonna go in and ask, who gives a fuck? Like this, I have nothing to lose. I literally have nothing to lose. I have no place. I have no job. Who gives a fuck? Who cares? Who fucking cares? I'm just gonna do it. I'll let you know how that.
The coronavirus has just hit New York fucking city, so everybody is basically dead and getting quarantined as we speak.
Shortly after COVID hit, she moved back home to Tampa with her family, dead set on becoming a full-time artist no matter what it took. The whole year she'd spend her whole time making music and learning about creativity. Barely enough to make it by, she'd use...
So this is where I am in my, my career. on YouTube. You have to push through sometimes. Like it's not easy. I'm gonna tell you how hard it is. So today, I ain't gonna hold you. I worked all day. When I was finished with work, all I wanted to do was take a nap. I'm like, I am extremely exhausted because I went into overdrive and I've been up till 3 a.m. almost every night this week. Editing, recording, editing, and all that stuff, right? Then I have these problems with my computer that I just can't solve. And I felt so defeated earlier because I'm like, bro, why am I having these problems, bro? I've been doing this shit for too long for me to be having these problems and I can't fix them. And now I'm putting subpar content out or I can't even release it. And the way I feel, like, I don't like to put out laggy fucking videos. I will delete that shit before I put it out. But at the end of the day, I had to give up. I had to, you know what? It is what it is. It might be a little laggy. I'll eventually fix it. You know what I'm saying? But with that also being the case, I remember when I first on my first YouTube channel, I was having a lot of problems with my computer after starting my YouTube and just getting into the rhythm of doing and making the videos and editing and doing all that. I wasn't even really editing that much because I didn't know how to edit. So I was just making the videos, putting them out. Making the videos, putting them out. And I got into my groove. And I had a dispute with my roommate at the time. And she decided she wanted to take the internet away from me and my other roommate because she didn't agree with what we were doing, right? So I ended up having to go and get T-Mobile mobile internet. And that internet is not as stable as a grounded internet like a Spectrum. So what ended up happening is when I switched over, I started having all these issues with my computer. Dropping frames and all that shit. And I was like I was so frustrated. I wanted to quit, bro. Because I was like, every day is something new now. As soon as I get this done, that happens. So as soon as I fix the lagging issue, then I start having camera issues. And I'm like, fuck, like, can I just have a break? And I was begging everybody around me, can y'all please just help me get a camera? I think the issue I'm having is just I need a new camera. I can't afford one. My mama sent me a camera. The camera was old as dust. They don't even sell parts to that camera no more, and it wasn't working. When she sent it to me, it wasn't working, and I was gonna go get it repaired, but they don't even make the camera no more, so they didn't even have parts to repair it. So then I just have to drop on my knees and say, God, I'm trying to do this. It is getting very difficult for me. I need you to take over, because I can't. If this is what your will is for me, I need you to let your will be done. And I need help, because I can't do this on my own. I was thrown into like this deep depression, but nobody really knew that shit, because you know why? Because I went so hard with continuing to put myself, like my feelings, my mindset, my strength, and everything on a back burner. And say, Eva, it don't fucking matter. You gotta do this shit. So whatever it takes, you gotta do that shit. So whatever it took, I did that shit. And that's why nobody really knew what the fuck I was going through. Because I was still coming on my camera, smiling, laughing, and y'all never knew the difference. Then I lost my channel. And right then, I was ready to end it all. Because I'm just like, how the fuck I figured all this shit out, and now I don't even have my channel no more? How you gonna let that happen to me, God? But God does everything for a reason. Just remember that, y'all. There's something better. There is something better. If he takes something away from you that you feel like you work your hardest on, he has something better for you. I promise you. Don't give up.
All of her unemployment checks to fund her music, whether it's actually recording or making the music videos. And as an independent artist, she had no help outside of this. But as her checks started to run out, time was ticking before she needed to figure out how she was going to pay for her bills. She was trying to make it big while also finding herself as an artist.
I just want to chase my dreams. I just want to be like, oh my God, I'm following my dreams. But I can't because, bitch, you have to have rent. It's fucking up everything. It's fucking up my creative process, my inspiration and shit. Like, God damn it.
Stuck inside, she seemed unable to connect with her audience on a level she wanted and didn't have the money to do it either.
My YouTube career is in fucking shambles. Like, bitch, nobody is here.
There seems to be something missing to help her blow up because she has everything it takes. Until a simple walk down the street changed her entire life.
I'm intentionally doing these, and I want to start doing them in a way where it's almost like I'm talking to my future self. I'm talking to you, Jayla.
She'd upload this video unknowingly marking the beginning of her rise. She describes walking down the street on a normal day and seeing a pile of books. Being an avid reader, she looked through them, finding things such as a John Lennon book. But one of these books stood out. It was called The Artist's Way.
I was just drawn to it for some reason, so I picked it up and started reading it. It's a course in discovering and recovering your creative self.
She'd go through this book, documenting every week in the updates to her creative journey. The book goes into detailed steps to return to the creative level of your inner child. Being a 12-week course, it has affirmations, homework assignments, and self-reflections to help revive your inner creativity. And most importantly, forces you to be honest with your art in a way most people have never even considered. But the reason why I bring up this book and why it's so important to her is because it would inspire her to write her next song. After finishing the 12-week course, she'd get to work. And about 5 months after, she finished her song Yucky Blucky Fruitcake, using her last unemployment check to independently create the music video and song. If this song doesn't get any attention again, who knows what she'd have to do. After releasing it in September, just like her last EP, it was more of the same reaction. Her dedicated fans enjoyed it, but outside of that, it wasn't getting much traction. But once it got to April, something crazy happened. After being used only twice on 2 different videos, by the end of the month, over 50,000 videos had used her song, making it an undeniable viral hit, giving her the moment she had been working towards for years. Just before I made Yucky Blucky Fruitcake, I was in a place where I was really afraid. I just felt creatively blocked. I just wasn't able to produce great work. I read this book called The Artist's Way. It really inspired me to get extremely honest in my music. I was never very personal. I made songs that I thought other people would enjoy, and I avoided talking about myself or my experiences growing up because I didn't really think it mattered. But after reading that book, I just felt extremely inspired to be really honest in my music. Creating something like this was always something she possessed, and she always labeled herself as honest and authentic on YouTube, but she just needed that extra push to go to the next level. The explosion of streams helped her get a ton of attention for her EP, Oh the Places You'll Go, and catapulted her into getting a look from every major record label outside of Sony. She eventually signed with TDE in 2022 because they were willing to give her the most independence with her music. She didn't forget what got her here and didn't want to lose that. Soon after this, she collaborated with SZA, riding this wave of growth. She'd release her successful song Crazy, be featured on Colors, release an EP, and eventually be featured on the 2022 XXL Freshman list. But it's not even close what she'd achieved the next following years. In 2023, Doechii would release the song What It Is, a song sitting at almost 400,000 streams in just over a year, her most streamed song to date. She performed at Coachella that same year and opened for Doja Cat's Scarlet Tour. And in 2024, she released her mixtape Alligator Bites Never Heal, an album that has taken her into the mainstream spotlight. This album was nominated for the Best Rap Album of the Year at the Grammys, had a viral Tiny Desk concert. Artists such as SZA, Hayley Williams, and Billie Eilish have all co-signed her, and famously, Kendrick Lamar said she was the hardest out right now. This is a lot of achievements for someone just a few years ago was completely lost and thought their audience wasn't gravitating to their music. Now, this isn't an ad for this book, and honestly, I don't know if everyone will gravitate to this book the same way, but what I thought was more important was that if you're in a creative field or you just create for fun, some of the most successful artists who have a fairy tale story have had their bumps along the way. And if during COVID she quit music completely and went back to working a regular job, we wouldn't be seeing the 2024 version of Doechii. Personally, I was going through her older videos and just seeing someone who was pre-fame just trying to make it. And it really inspired me because it showed that anyone's breakthrough could be just one song or even just reading one book away from breaking through. Thank you so much for watching. Again, this is not an ad, but if you do want to buy this book, I'm going to put the link in the description.
Yep. And that's the only thing that I want to convey to y'all. Not for nothing, this may also be useful for me to know too. So I'm giving advice to you guys, but I'm also giving the advice to myself. Your breakthrough that you're waiting on, your it moment, your defining moment, the moment that's gonna make you a star, a millionaire, a quadrillionaire, can be one video away, can be one song away, can be one moment away. If you give up on that, then you're giving up on yourself. Put out whatever it is that you have created. Whatever it is you feel like that people should see. And they're gonna gravitate to it. But it's gonna take time. It's gonna take consistency and effort. And I promise you, if you have all of those things, you're gonna make it. It's not gonna be fast. The come up is not fast for everybody. Everybody ain't industry plants that have things handed to them. They have to work at it and work at it and work at it and work at it and work at it until they get it. I want to motivate y'all to be better. This is that. See y'all in a minute.